upon the mysterious threshold of the Temple of Delphi, there was a Greek maxim engraved in the stone that stated, "Human, know thyself, and thou shalt know the universe and the gods." In the final instance, it is obvious, evident, and clear that the study of oneself and serene reflection conclude in the quietude and in the silence of the mind. When the mind is quiet and in silence, not only in the intellectual level, but in each and every one of the 49 subconscious departments, then the newness emerges. The essence, the consciousness, comes out of the bottle, and the awakening of the soul, the ecstasy, the samadhi, occurs. The daily practice of meditation transforms us radically. People who do not work on the annihilation of the I are like butterflies that flutter from one school to another. They have yet to find their center of permanent gravity. Therefore, they die as failures without ever having achieved the inner self-realization of their being. The awakening of the consciousness is only possible by means of liberating ourselves from mental dualism and by emancipating ourselves from the struggle of the antithesis or from intellectual surges. Any subconscious, infraconscious, or unconscious submerged struggle is converted into an impediment for the liberation of the essence, the soul. Every antithetical battle, as insignificant and unconscious as it might appear, indicates, accuses, and aims to obscure points that are ignored and unknown within the atomic infernos of the human being. To reflect, observe, and know these infrahuman aspects, these obscure points of oneself, is indispensable in order to achieve the absolute quietude and silence of the mind. Only in the absence of the I is it possible to experience and live the integral revolution and the revolution of the dialectic. Let us begin with serene reflection. To achieve absolute mental silence in all the levels of the subconsciousness is what is the most difficult, laborious, and arduous task. It is not enough to reach stillness and silence in the mere superficial intellectual level or in a few subconscious departments, because the essence continues bottled up within the submerged infraconscious and unconscious dualism. A blank mind is something exceedingly superficial, hollow, and intellectual. What we need is serene reflection, if indeed we want to achieve the absolute stillness and silence of the mind. Nonetheless, it is clear to comprehend that in pure Gnosticism, both the serene and the reflection have special meanings here and should not be understood in their common connotations. The meaning of serene goes much deeper than mere calmness or quietude. It implies transcendency over all words and thoughts, denoting a state of beyond, of pervasive peace. Likewise, the meaning of reflection goes much deeper than its ordinary sense of contemplation of a problem or an idea. It has no savor of mental activity or of contemplative thought, but it is a mirror-like, clear awareness, ever illuminating and bright in its pure self-experience. To speak even more concisely, serene means the tranquility of no thought, and reflection means vivid and clear awareness. Therefore, serene reflection is clear awareness in the tranquility of no thought. Perfect serenity reigns when true profound enlightenment is achieved. When the mind is really still, not violently stilled, I repeat, but still, spontaneously and naturally, when the mind is silent, not silenced by force, gagged, because then inside it would be screaming no. I repeat, in silence, in a natural way, then the new comes. In meditation, my dear brothers and sisters, we must first place our body in the most comfortable position. Some prefer to meditate sitting down. There are those who prefer to do it in the Oriental posture. Others prefer to lie on the floor with their legs and arms open in the form of the flaming star, which is, let us say, the higher form of meditation for masters. Thus, each one then can choose the position that they consider most comfortable. Then close your eyes so that nothing in the world distracts us. First, before any thoughts surge, we need to become fully aware of the mood that we are in. Serenely observe our mind. Pay full attention to any mental form that appears on the screen of the intellect. It is necessary to become sentries of our own mind, and then during any given agitated activity to stop for an instant and observe it. If a thought comes to us, study it, observe it carefully, understand it deeply, and then forget it. If a memory comes, you have to do the same. Study it, weigh it, measure it, and forget it after having understood it thoroughly, completely, totally. If any desire comes, well then, we are going to study the desire, to deepen it, to see what is real about it, and then forget it. Every thought, every desire, every memory, every idea must be rigorously studied, thoroughly comprehended. This is how we get to know our ego, our I, our myself, because everything that comes to the mind when we try to meditate, everything that tries to sabotage our work, is our own ego, our own desires. Because our ego is our thoughts, our desires, our ideas, our fears, our hatreds, our envy, our selfishness and lust. So, in meditation, we see what is appearing. We see our own ego, which has a beginning and an end. It is like a ball of thread. For example, it has its beginning and it has its end. This is how the ego is, my dear brothers and sisters. It has a beginning and it has an end. Once the entire film has concluded, let us say on the screen, the entire procession of the ego, all that chain of desires, fears and memories, the mind remains obviously still and in the most deepest silence. And then, it is natural that the essence, the consciousness that we carry inside, is unbottled from within the mind. It is released, and so we come to experience the reality, that which is the truth.